Welcome to Crying at the Gym. Thanks for coming back if you've been with us a while. And if it's your first time here, thanks for being here. Crazy turnaround. We had a silly little night
We had a
last
silly
night.
night. It was
It was so
fun.
fun. It was the gym's 11th anniversary. Hey, right?
Yeah.
11. And so naturally, we started there. So wholesome, so fun, and got to hang with our friends and interview some. So I can't wait
It'll be in
to
this
share that.
episode.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hopefully, if we can figure it out.
We were talking about, and we've talked about community, and today we are actually talking about friendships, which is very much related. And my favorite topic, I have to say, the
Yeah.
greatest love that I think exists. Uh,
Most important
and
relationship.
yeah, not just, I mean, friendships in general, obviously, feeling very passionately about that topic. But if you don't know, I am Brooke's older friend. So we're also very passionate about talking about the differences in generations and having multi-generational friend groups.
Yeah.
So what is the youngest friend you have and the oldest friend you have? You don't have to say the name. Like when we were asking people yesterday, I'm like, "Oh,
They're like, Jeff.
Jeff. Jeff's my oldest friend. I was like, damn, I'm just putting it out like that.
Oh, no. Okay. Sorry. My youngest friend is still in college. And we grew up together. We shared a backyard. Um, yeah.
Neighbors.
There was just like a hill separating us.
That's sweet.
And so it's their youngest sister. Like their oldest daughter is like in her 30s. Their middle daughter is a year older than me. And then their youngest daughter is 2 years younger than my youngest sister. And she's still in
Nice.
college. So yeah.
And I'm your oldest friend. I'm your
Unfortunately,
eldest. No,
surprisingly not.
surprisingly not.
I know it's so crazy.
But
You're like a whole
I'm
8
close.
years older than me.
I it really is crazy. I don't feel it all the time, much less with you than I don't know, like
I
I,
think it's only when I say some things and you're like, what the fuck does that mean?
oh,
And
definitely pop culture.
But I
I'm
think,
like,
it's not all pop culture. I think part of it is like where we grew up and like
yes.
how we like refer to different things.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna say. I was like, you feel it more depending how many similarities you already have or don't.
Yeah.
And like I do feel like when I started at this gym, I like made friends with a lot of people in their 20s, mid early 20s, or like just finishing school or grad school or their doctorate program, just, became a lawyer. I'm like, oh, like I didn't feel it until I'm like, what are the kids doing these days? I think people forget my age, but I don't. I'm like,
But it's like, yeah. But it's also like 8 years isn't that
no,
much in the grand scheme of
no,
things. Also,
no,
I feel that with my younger sister and she's only 5 years younger than me.
true.
So, what's your oldest friend?
My oldest friend and I like it's like hard to even give her that title because first of all, she's anywhere between 20 and 70. We have no idea because she's a fucking queen. I worked with her at one of those toxic places I worked and trauma bonded. But
Naturally.
my friend Sandy is
I've heard you
like,
talk about her.
yeah, like she's just amazing. I only know she's older. Well, I know she's older than me and our other friend that we had at work, but like she's looks amazing. She's happy. And I only know based on like where we are in our career and like her being like retiring or
Yeah.
something, and I'm like, huh, how long for me? But she's cooler than me. Like she has
Sometimes it'd be like that.
a child probably closer in age to me, and then a grandchild who's in like middle school or something. And like she's just cool. She's one of those people like this is so like when my grandma used to say this, I'm like, wow, what a revolutionary thing to say. But she was like, if you act old, you are old. I love having like that's not my only older friend, but I'm like, yes, the like wisdom you get from someone who's just lived so much more life than
Hmm.
you or had all these experiences. And as as I like creep into like I'm like, oh, I get to be like a little bit of a older, wiser friend just because like I don't know, like, do you need help picking out your health insurance benefits? Like, that's the only, like, if there's not like much I can offer other than like my rich traumatic experiences. And like
But I
having
think,
bought a couple
yeah.
homes and
I mean, you've been through a lot.
yeah.
multiple marriages, multiple houses, multiple
Just really wanted
jobs,
to
multiple career
live
esques.
as much as I could
You
all in
know,
one.
there's so much value there.
It's a lot. What's the point if you can't just share all the things with your older and younger friends? I love
No,
having me some younger friends though,
and
because I, especially when I was going through my most recent divorce and I met all of y'all at the gym. Um, I just became friends with who I became friends with, but was like, "Aw, cute," like going out. That's I used to do that, or like, I don't know. But then I was like, "Oh yeah," like there's a sense of like still just like freedom. Like you can like get kind of rigid as you get older into like what you expect of like, oh, I'm too old to do that now. Even like so people who are my age or older at the gym will be like, girl, like, how do you still party like that? I'm like, no, I mean, what you see on Instagram is like, yes, I am out. I am like having a good time. I was like, rest assured, I'm all day the day after with like all the eye serum and eye mask, a face mask, and just like
not today. She's
I've got,
glowing.
yeah, she's got to lay down and put her feet up and do some old lady things. Like, you got to have a healthy balance. I don't think like there's any there's no rules around what's age appropriate for me.
No,
Like dressing age appropriate or like going out till a certain time. Like as long as you're happy and you're safe and you're making decisions for yourself, like
and
who
you're
cares?
confident, like
Yeah.
pop off. No, and I feel like younger friends are fun. Um, but not to be like younger friends are fun, but like I feel like they're just like fresh, bright-eyed,
Fresh perspective too.
fresh perspective, yeah, and just like so optimistic.
Hmm.
And like I remember when I started my clerkship after law school, the law, prior law clerk and I were like talking and about things, and he was like, "Ah, so young, you haven't been jaded yet. Such a fresh perspective on life."
It does give you a little bit of you're like, ah, hope or
Yeah.
like the
They're
innocence we
like,
all wish we still
yeah.
had.
They're like, it'll get better, and you're like, you know what? It will.
You know what I do like about like a Gen Zer? I like I like to be challenged. Like I like for people like to challenge the way things have always gone. And from
I
my
feel like that's a movement of the Gen Zers,
yeah,
and it's just like
and millennials were kind of like
it
if
slowly got there.
you're oh, yeah, I feel like we were always like this isn't going to be sustainable like the old school way, but no one's listening to us.
Yeah.
And then Gen Z came like, nah, that I do notice a difference in my friend groups on how you treat your body or prioritize youth or your skincare regimen or like Botox, no Botox. Like, I think there's like, I think it's so interesting the way people value youth and looking youthful. I mean, there is like some privilege in looking younger at times, but
At times.
at
It's
times,
not that great.
right? Like, no, like, you're never old enough or young enough.
The point being, that it's good to have like so many different friends from like different generations, like younger and older, like because you get there's value in on both sides, but that surely doesn't come without its challenges.
No.
Um,
Yeah, like we were talking last night, we were interviewing people, and I actually, one of the questions we had about what are some of the challenges, what people were saying, I was definitely resonating with,
mhm.
like schedules, lifestyles, like do all your friends have kids? Are they all married? Are they all coupled up? Or are they all out or partying? And I certainly have flip-flopped
Mhm.
around all of those groups. And for you, do you get this reference? Let's see the age gap. Like I was about to say like I'm not a girl, not yet a woman.
No.
Britney Spears. But yeah, that's like the difference between being able to like go do whatever versus people who are have other obligations. That's hard when you want to like hang and relate to your friends in those groups. Um, what are some challenges you have?
I guess I think scheduling is a big one, and I feel like that's just like not even that could like literally not even be like just because of different generations or like whatever. It's just because everyone has a lot going on.
Yeah, like what life stage you're in, no
Yeah.
matter the age,
Yeah,
really,
like
or
it
like what your
really,
life is.
I feel like it really just depends. Um, Another thing I've noticed is just like people's life priorities not lining up. And just like, I don't know, like whether it be focusing on like health and wellness or like more so like growing a family, like totally fair. Or just like who they prioritize. Um, and like the relationships like different generations choose to prioritize, I feel like is difficult.
Do you find it hard to make friends as an adult, like not in school or anything? I
Once
asked.
again, this is the plug for CrossFit.
Yeah, true.
Like, no, because
Because of CrossFit. No, true. Like that's where you meet
yeah, your
your friends right
community.
now.
But I think even in that, like, I've made friends at work, who are like in either in the same phase of or like same generation as me or not. Friends at the gym. The gym's a big one. Um, I don't know. I definitely like. I mean, that's not to say I have never struggled with like finding like, but
No, there's no
I don't
honest.
know. Like,
Yeah,
I just think like if you find your like community, find what you like to do, and it doesn't have to be CrossFit. Like, I have a friend who I work with who moved here from New York. Like, her family's here, but like didn't have a lot of like friends and stuff here. And she joined like a rec soccer league for adults, and just like, and so it's just like, what do you like to do? I have another friend who is around your age who does pottery classes. So it's just like
yeah.
prioritizing a hobby.
Love. I
Run club?
It kind of goes hand in hand when as you get older and wiser, um, you have different standards for all relationships,
That's
right?
true. Yeah.
So I think that's something that has changed. I actually got really lucky and met the best friends of my whole life when I was in ninth grade of high school, and we've all been friends since.
Yeah.
But um, like knowing like what's acceptable or not acceptable in a friendship or any relationship you're going to keep, boundaries, this, that, like there's like there's like people you are friendly with and then there's like your friends. So I feel like it's like um some people think like fewer, more quality is better versus having all the friends that aren't like so
Yeah.
close.
And I don't think there's like a right or a wrong answer. I think whatever works for you. I think that's something I've been criticized for in the past. It's just like like being friends with so many different people, but it's also like there's a line between being friendly with people and like being like friends. Like, yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. I have levels myself. I
Yeah.
have like my friends, like these are like
Ride or
I'm
die.
telling my secrets too. They're
Yeah.
watching me fumble and stumble through life. I guess so are y'all. You're my friends. Welcome. It's a very sacred place to be. I hold you in my heart dearly. And then there's like people you're friendly with. Like these are, you might not have like super deep, meaningful connections, or you have some, but you're not like calling them for your crash outs all the time. Like maybe you're going out or having a party and you're like,
Mhm.
hey, come, yeah.
Yeah.
And then there's like people I don't care for. Have I already talked about this? People I don't care for.
No.
And or like, it's like danger, danger, red flags in terms of I
Oh.
don't want to get very close and that person needs very restrictive boundaries. Then I'm very indifferent. I'm like
Yeah.
neutral. I'm like, hey, nice to see you. Not fake, just like,
No, we talked about that outside of
oh,
this. But
okay.
yeah. Yeah.
And then people who are too scary, danger, danger, I'm just like,
Can't be touched.
dead to me. Look away.
Yeah. And I think like again, like there's value in all of those friendships because like sometimes like
You learn from all of
you
them.
can't just like be bogged down in like the deep heavy things with everyone you speak to all the time. Like
That's
that's
true.
draining for you.
Yeah.
And like as like someone like that's draining for you on both levels. Like if you're confiding in someone and also if someone's confiding in you. Like you can't.
You're
It
pretty
can't.
good. You're pretty good at copying your voice notes and giving them to all the respective.
Yeah.
Because like what are you gonna do? Put all the different groups of friends you have in one chat?
I'm like,
And theoretically, something like Instagram should be where you can like share with you're like, but no, that's not every like all those people can't know all of this. So you gotta get your
ah.
voice note and copy it and paste it in all your group chats. When you're making new friends, um, what first of all, are you the one who approaches to be like, hey, want to be friends? Or do you like you're around and available and wait like to see if they'll maybe approach you?
I definitely like to test the waters. Cause like, I don't know, you don't want to just be diving in.
I fully
I
knew
mean,
the
I feel
answer. I
yeah.
mean, I became your friend.
Yeah. But I feel like you don't want to just like dive in with just anyone and be like, be my friend, because then sometimes you accidentally get in too deep and you're
Oh,
like, I don't
yes.
want to be in this relationship. So I'm like a poke the bear kind of girl.
People,
Um,
I think I remember our friendship being like, yeah, we talked about this before where it was just like, hey, like for a
yeah.
long time we were just like, we were casually dating. We were just like, hey, like, yeah, I'll see you at class and
Yeah.
blah, blah. And then we had our first friend date and we were still like, oh, learning so much, new
We're still
information.
learning so
We are
much.
still learning so much.
Uh,
But I think like you made it obvious, like, hey, open to meeting new people
really?
and doing things.
Okay, that's good.
Yeah. I mean, after a while, I think it took us, I take a while to warm up too.
And yeah, and it's like that's like
I actually tend to attract friends like you who seem more soft spoken, reserved, shy,
I feel like
and you're not.
I feel like it
But
depends
I
on the
feel it.
environment.
I'm like,
Yeah.
no, no,
There's
no,
deeper
no,
layers
no.
there.
Because some of my best friends are like that, where it's like, I'm
Yeah.
like, I've had the wildest experiences with them, and people are like, surely not that person. I'm like, okay, then. Like, I will bring out the like demon inside you that's like,
It's really just like for me, it's the environment.
yeah,
Like I'm like that way in so many of my friendships, and so it's so fun. But it like really is like there's a
and your
time and
family.
place.
Yeah. You're like,
I'm yeah
different.
no I yeah I'm also like that with my family.
Love.
Uh,
When I like the way I made friends and the way I think I probably was like, do you want to like hang out on purpose? I probably asked you out
yeah.
for sure. This
No,
is it's
you
like the
definitely
same way
yeah
I flirt. Or it's like,
yeah.
hi, do you want to be my friend? Or like, hi, do you want to make out? When you're selecting a friend, what would you say is a green flag?
So I think oh, I feel like I don't know. I'm pretty good about like I think that's why I'm so poke the bear is like I'm pretty good at feeling out like the genuineness.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that's like a green flag necessarily because that's something that takes a while to like.
That's true.
Um.
You can tell when people are being inauthentic, uh, complete like
Mhm.
at the get go. But sometimes I give people the benefit of the doubt. Maybe I shouldn't, but like going back to people pleasing, sometimes people are just like sometimes nerves
Yeah.
and meeting new people. You want to like impress
But that's
some.
why it's like I'm not gonna make the judge. I'm not like a judge a book by its cover
Yeah,
type of person. Like
it does take some time
yeah,
to get to know.
because like also you don't. They could they could have just gone through the worst divorce of their life and you don't even know.
It's concerning that I was able to even make friends and people, or it's concerning nobody knew while I was like, oh, am I peopling?
But I
Right?
yeah, and
Okay.
I think it's like part like that's part of the balance of like new friends
Mm,
is like you don't want to like dive in head first like into the shallow end.
yeah.
Like
When people, I will say, a green flag for me is similar. Like, I think that is like one of the core things. I just
mhm
want authenticity. I don't like leave it up to me to decide if, I like who you are
mhm
versus like you don't have to be anything for me or to me. And sometimes with that, on the flip side, like a red flag is you can tell when people are being fake. Red flag for me, I'm just gonna say it. When someone I barely know comes up and is like, "Oh my gosh, you're so pretty." I don't know why. Like, it is a weird, unsolicited. It's not like, "Girl, you look fucking hot," and that it's not
yeah
that. You know what I'm talking about. The like,
mhm
oh my, it's like an accusation. I'm like, that's a weird thing to first notice about me. You know, like
Yeah.
I also don't look at people like that's the first thing I think about.
Yeah.
And so it like the vanity, I'm like, I don't relate to like vanity being a priority.
Yeah.
And it feels like I may be a threat to them.
Well, it's also like you don't know what that compliment, like you think it's a compliment, but you don't know what that means to someone. Like I remember I had a friend in college who like this girl came up to her and she was like, "Oh my God, you're so skinny." And like that really pissed her off because she
Yeah.
was like,
Trying to be
I'm
thick.
trying. Well, she was like, I can't help it.
Yeah.
And so it's like, she's like, I'm trying
Yes.
to gain weight.
Unsolicited, like
Yeah.
physical
Like,
commentary
yeah.
is, it's not a deal breaker because people are trying to like compliment you
Yeah.
sometimes or think that's what you
I
want
think
to
it can
hear.
be a deal breaker depending on the
Yes,
extent of
the
it.
delivery gives it all. You
Yeah.
know when someone's like, "Wow," you like gives you a specific compliment.
And you're like, what an odd thing to say.
It's an like that's the least interesting thing about me. Like if
Yeah.
someone was like, "Girl, you're funny," I'd be like, "You're funny." Like if I really meant it, because also I'm not gonna be like, "Oh my God, you're pretty." I don't play. I'm like,
Yeah.
I have bad breath in the morning. No, I'm like, thank you.
Yeah.
I'd have to get to know you to know if like how to compliment you, I guess. So that's kind of a red flag
Yeah.
in like
And
a first encounter.
I think another one is also when people like talk about like how great they are or
Hmm.
like,
Say what they are and who they are instead of just showing it.
yeah, I'm like, ooh, that one's I'm like,
If you
okay.
have to say it,
Then it's probably not
it's probably
true.
not showing, which means you're probably
Yeah.
not doing it. Yeah. Another red flag is when people tell me someone else's secret.
Yeah. Especially if you don't know them like that.
Yeah.
Like
Or I know it's a
like there are very few people I would confide in
yeah.
for things. And so it's like if you're trusting me like that without right off the bat, I'm
I
like,
can't tell you stuff
no.
because you're gonna, and I don't want to have to like censor everything with like, please don't tell anyone. Please don't tell anyone. Like, obviously, if I'm telling you something serious, I like trust you to keep that safe. Do
Hmm.
I accept the risk that that gets out? Because I've told people, sure. But like, no, when someone's like, guess what? I'm like, but you are like best friends with them. Why would you tell
Yeah.
me that? Or, yeah.
Yeah. So it's funny you say that. But because one of my good friends, my older friend from law school, Carrie, um, but we were grad assistants together
Okay.
at Student Legal Services, and one of our we obviously spend so much time together. Like I don't know, but one of our like rules what or like boundaries rules was like if we're telling something each other something like super super serious and we're like okay four corners it does not leave
Mm,
this room
yes.
and like it's just like I don't know like not like because either of us were worried that the other was gonna go yap about it but just because like we were like
If it's that, yes. If I'm like, this is something I like really don't.
I don't like and I can't even think of an example of like the serious like it would just be like
Four corners. I like that.
yeah and so
But
it's
yeah, if
fun.
someone is like talking shit about their own friend, I'm like, how do you talk about me?
Well,
Dang.
and like people you think they're like super close with, and you're like,
I'm like, that's
oh,
someone I thought you love. And now I'm
yeah.
feeling vulnerable. Like, I don't, yeah.
And people
I,
get in my personal bubble. I don't like that.
oh, like your physical space?
Yeah, I do not like to be touched unless I want to be touched, and
True.
that's to friend like that extends to friends. Like
Massage therapist. I know. Like,
you're like you've
we
never
can't
gotten a
relax.
massage.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know.
But like no, I do not get in my personal bubble.
I feel, yeah. Yeah. Okay, I actually feel the same, except it's confusing because it's like culturally, like if it makes sense, like how Hispanic people kiss each other on the cheek. That makes sense to me. It's
Hmm.
normal. But yes, over touching, unwelcome
Or just like
touch.
even yeah, unwelcome touch because it's like if I'm just meeting you, like why are you touching me on the shoulder? Like
Me and Shannon, have you seen the video that's like when you try to hug your friend that doesn't like to be hugged and it's the camel that's like
oh my god, literally the
so we always just
what I
make
got
that
it
noise at each other instead of hugging.
the one I got was in the summer. I'm like I could probably count on like one hand the amount of times we've hugged in our entire 15-year friendship.
I actually used to be like this. My friend group is like, oh, like they're down for a cuddle puddle always, and they're like, oh, but Liz, don't like. Don't. I'm like, no, I do, or like, they'll be like, they'll be like, I'm like the only one in the bed and everyone is like on the floor. I'm like, guys, you can sleep in the bed with me. I
But it's
just,
like I am.
they're like, she doesn't like to be touched. I'm like, I just like, I'm very sensitive to touch.
contextual. It's contextual.
And the cuddle puddle, I don't like to be trapped. I'm like, if I'm on the
Yeah.
outside, I want to be the big spoon in a puddle because I don't want to be trapped. A green flag for me is when people respect.
We did talk a lot about red flags. We should
Yeah.
probably move to green flags.
I know. I'm like, on a positive note, green flags when people respect me saying no to things
Yeah.
without pushing
or, like,
or questioning. Like,
I don't want to have to explain why I'm busy.
yep.
Like,
Or
you-
like, I'm not busy. I just don't want to.
Yeah.
I like, thank you for inviting me. And I would love to continue being invited. I can't go.
Not right now.
'Cause I
Yeah.
don't want to. Not like, why? Oh, you could change that. I'm like, oh, no, that's not how.
Yeah. And it's just like shows their level of respect for.
Yeah. And I don't want
Like, I
people
think-
showing up for me because they feel compelled. You know, I want
Yeah.
them to know that's not how I roll either. So
Yeah.
I do like we were kind of like that of like, all right, well, I think I'll go home now. We're just like, you want to do that? And I'm like, nah, not really. Or like, sure.
Yeah.
Like, yeah.
No,
And it
we're
doesn't mean anything either which way.
Okay, another green flag I would say is when people like remember your name, which is funny because I can't remember because I don't.
Okay.
But no, I don't do this.
Okay.
But I think it's really nice when like I remember when we all joined with like Jake Nelson and Alex. Jake would always it took me forever to remember this man's name, but he would always be
I
like
knew his name before you, and I'd seen him half as many times.
well, I couldn't ask because he
Oh,
would always be like, "Hey, Brooke, how are you?" And so
I
at that
remember
point,
this.
you can't ask.
And I remember you telling me that, and I was like, hey, I was like, what's your name again? And he's like, Jake. And I was like, Jake. Fucking Jake. I remembered one name because it was like someone who knew your. If you don't know, everywhere we go or went to, it was like, I'm like, hey, and they're like, no, we haven't. I was like, no, we've met. And maybe I don't know their names. They're like, you're Brooke's friend. You're like the strong girl from West's friend. Or like, oh, Brooke. I'm like, okay, I get it. I have spotty attendance. But for a while, it was going very
No, you were
consistently. And I was still
consistent.
getting that feedback. I was like,
I think that's why we became friends is because we were both consistently going at the same time.
other green flag when people have friends.
Yeah.
When people are like, or someone's like, flip side, red flag is like, you don't have a single friend you've known for more than a few months. Or the people who are like, I don't have any girlfriends.
I hate that.
It's the same ones who are like, you're like really pretty. And I'm like, I want to be like,
Or like
I want to be like, it doesn't have to be like this.
I'm just one of the bros.
And they're like, I'm a girl's girl. I'm like, that's your red flag. Like saying what you are. I'm like, are you? Because you don't have to make any proclamations if you just are. Just be
Literally,
one.
yeah.
Yeah. Come on in, Lexi.
Wait.
When you were FaceTiming your friends and I was right here and you were like, Brooke has a friend that's 35. And I was like, I'm right here. And you're like, no, she looks like normal. Like, I don't know what you said, but I was like, bitch, I'm right here.
Wait. So last night we went around and asked people like random questions. So who's your oldest friend?
She's like, I don't know if I can call her a friend yet, but there's an old lady here every week.
She eats dinner with us
The
occasionally.
girl I coach with is 39, so she beats you.
Slay.
What about like Coach Ashley?
Just blasting
Or,
everyone's
like-
ages out there now.
Or like, I mean, I don't know how old Coach Ashley is, but like, what
I
about
don't know how old she is actually.
I guess Nathan's young, Alex is young.
Also, when we were starting,
Pat, my friend.
You can. Is he your friend? You
Mhm.
text him.
I texted him yesterday actually.
How old's Coach Pat?
50.
you know what I don't want to know? The feedback from the youngins on our podcast. Because when we were starting it, we were like, Lexi, is this cool? And you're like, probably not.
Did Adam
Oh,
ever
yeah,
watch
I
our
was thinking-
podcast?
Oh, I need to ask him.
Who's your youngest friend?
Your nephew doesn't count.
Oh.
Yeah.
Head coach's daughter called me her Pookie. She's 10, I think,
Nice.
or 9, or 11.
What deep, meaningful conversations do y'all have?
Nothing. She told me about this guy from a Disney movie she thinks is really cute. That's healthy. Yeah.
That's age appropriate.
Yeah.
What's a
Me and the 10-year-old in my class have conversations about fantasy football every day.
I learned that you made friends the way I did as a kid. Like, hey, you want to be friends? And Brooke was just like lurking in the corner observing.
Yeah, I used to go up to guys for her and say, hey, my 15-year-old sister thinks you're really cute. She wants to know your name, your age, where you're from.
I did that to her last night. You'd be so happy. I was like, hey, we were on the street and I was like, I stalked your Instagram profile for her. This is my friend. She's really cute. I'm like, you're not for me, but
my friend,
you guys
my
are
friend.
cute. He blew it. If anyone's wondering, he blew it.
Yikes.
He's definitely not listening, but
He
he blew
left
it.
with like 6 bitches.
No, he was too busy.
Yes.
He was busy. What's your biggest friendship green flag?
Yeah, like
What's your
when
biggest friendship red flag?
No.
she's like, we here in Gen Z. Are you Gen Z or Alpha? Gosh.
No, I
You're
think I'm
Gen Z.
You're Gen Z.
She's like, we here in Gen Z, we don't do that.
No, it's just
We don't make it official. We just
vibes.
like it's vibes. Confirmed.
We did talk about vibes earlier.
Yeah.
That's the case for us
Just
too.
vibes. No, I don't like when people. I don't know.
What do you get from your older friend?
What do I get from my older friend?
Yeah, like what value do you have from that friendship?
I don't know.
Kids these days.
What value do you
I
have?
tell you.
What value do you get from your younger friends?
They're entertaining.
Fair.
You
They
are
are,
quite
yeah.
entertaining. So can confirm.
It's like when Laurel texted me last night and she was like, "Can you just cut actually everything I said?"
I know we're like what we're like.
Oh,
Who's
I
your
found-
youngest friend?
That reminds me, I need to text Laurel. So the master's swim program she does is through UNF. She gave me the information. I was like, I need to introduce you and Lexi. And then I also
What?
told Alyssa, I was like, my sister's a teacher, a first year teacher. I need to introduce you guys.
See, you get networking from your older friends.
See, it's
little
funny.
sister.
It's funny how like things have flipped though. Like you
Yeah,
used
you
to be.
stole all my friends, and now I'm gonna steal all your friends.
No, but like when
I'm
you
too
were younger,
old.
you were like making friends left and right, and like now you're shy.
Thank you.
But like, and then here I am, like,
Here we are like, please tell us everything. I love how this turned into just like friendship in general.
yeah,
And like just highlighting that having friends with different perspectives or in different walks of life, different life experience is such a
it's so valuable.
yeah, so valuable.
No, and I think that I guess like when we talk about like I think when we initially planned this episode and like multi-generational friendships, that's kind of what we meant, and like that's the bigger picture is like just having like it's like the. Do you remember learning about like the melting pot? Like America being the melting pot of like different cultures. It's kind of like that.
Sure.
Did you
I
not
was
learn
thinking-
about that in middle school?
Like in a different way,
Oh,
but I have weird perspective on that too.
okay. But yeah, it's kind of like that. In my head, it's
Yes.
like that. Like you get value from,
Constantly
like, your
varied,
own-
just like
Yeah.
CrossFit. Constantly varied.
Because even if it's like your friend your age, like they still might be like I have a lot of friends who are my age who have children, are married,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. And it's
Yeah.
like I get value from them, but it's like they're not in a different generation, but I
Yeah.
still get different things from them than my own perspective.
Yeah. You got to switch it up. You don't want everyone to be just Lexi.
You are so
You don't want everyone to be just like you.
Yeah.
Is the
Yeah.
point.
No, and I think
You know when you see a group of people who like they only want to be with people like them and I'm like,
Yeah.
branch out.
That's probably what people think when they see us.
Well, but they would learn
Yes.
that we're
Very
very
different.
different. Like, in a good way. Like
Yeah.
I think it helps to like it brings out like qualities too that like
And I think it also like every friendship's different, and so it's like I don't know, like bring like every different friendship brings out like more good qualities in you and stuff like that, you know.
yeah.
I don't
And
know.
talking
helps
about
you grow.
keeps me young, you guys.
Well, and it's like it's all about growth on this unwellness journey, and like what better way to grow with it is than by surrounding yourself with like people of different everything.
Different everything. I fully endorse that.
What? What? Where were they? Oh.
Cool. Yeah, so branch out, different everything. I think like it's not like when we talk about like, oh, what's your oldest and youngest friend? It's not like you picked someone for their age. It's just you had common ground or you had something to gain, some value from them, and you saw some green flags and you're like, let's give it a try.
Yeah.
I love that.
And I talked about that also. Like we kind of talked about that too in like my When to Walk Away episode with like my paralegal, you, Megan, but like they never come from the same place.
Yeah.
And they
Yeah.
all have different perspectives.
We appreciate it.
So many different walks of life.
Last night,
Yeah.
at the 11th anniversary party for the gym,
I keep calling it a birthday party.
Anniversary party was kind of a birthday party. Oh, was it you that when we walked in, you thought that one happy birthday balloon was like for our group?
I was like, I wonder if that's for the gym.
That would be so cute. I couldn't imagine Joe walking in with just like,
oh my God, I'm gonna get him a balloon.
A happy birthday balloon for the gym. So wholesome. Yeah, but we cornered people. It was the bright light that scared everyone. It was dark in there.
It was the fact that we said, come down to the dock.
Oh yeah, we're like, follow us to the water. And then I like had this bright light in their face and they're like,
they're like, we must go in a group then. No one wanted to come alone.
It was giving Blair Witch. We were like, come on, shh, come. And they were like, we just have some questions. They're like, no. I'm like, what have you seen on this podcast that you're so afraid of what we're going to ask you?
Everyone is skittish, but we dove in.
Easy to be vulnerable.
Yeah, we dove in with them on like kind of everything we talked about today.
Well, thanks for staying silly with us. And
yeah, no, I'm glad we had like a lighter episode. We've been saying we were doing a lighter episode, and then this one was actually like, this one actually was.
I know. I'm starting to think people are going to get like increasingly concerned instead of like, oh, they're doing so well, like healing. And I'm like, I think it's like maybe make people more concerned. We're fine.
We're doing great.
There's a lot. Thanks for being silly with us. I don't know if we
follow us on socials at We Are Crying at the Gym. Leave us a voice note. The link is in our bio on Instagram and TikTok. Yeah. Send us an email. Also, we really want to hear what you guys want to hear from us.
Yeah.
What resonates with you? What do you hate? We can take it.
If you're like, it's getting too sad in here, we want something lighter, we can switch it up. We got a lot of material here.
No, we have too much material, which is kind of like, we're like, oh, what do the people want from us? What's going on in your life right now? Who do you want to hear from?
And thank you for everyone who participated.
Yeah, it was so fun.
It was really fun.
We'll be doing it again, don't worry.
Half of you were scared, and I understand.
Yeah.
I understand.
Yeah.
You were also brave. We appreciate you so much. But yeah.
See you next Wednesday. In the meantime, we'll be crying at the gym.